All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack a really powerful metaphor today, one that's ancient, but still has so much to say. It's a story all about safety, about identity, and about access. And it all centers around the simple picture of a shepherd and his sheep.
So, right at the start, we're hit with this puzzle. You've got two people, right? Both are trying to get to the sheep. One sneaks over the wall, the other just walks right through the door. So, what's the big deal? What's the real difference here? Well, it's about way more than just how they get in. It's all about who they are and what they're really there for. Okay, so let's set the scene. Imagine a sheepfold. It's basically a pen, probably made of stone, where different shepherds would keep their flocks together at night to keep them safe. And into this picture, we get our two main characters, the shepherd and the thief.
Now, the story immediately draws a really clear, bold line in the sand. It says, look, anyone who doesn't use the door, anyone who tries to climb in another way, that person is a thief, a robber. Simple as that. The shepherd, on the other hand, is the one who enters by the door. This isn't just about good manners, you know? The door is the first test. It separates the intruder from the one who actually belongs there.
But it's not just about having the right key, so to speak. The metaphor goes so much deeper than just a physical entrance. It shifts to the actual relationship between the shepherd and the sheep, a relationship that's built on one thing: trust. And check out how personal this whole process is. First, yeah, the shepherd comes through the door, the right way. But then he does something incredible. He calls his own sheep by name. This isn't just a generic whistle. It's an intimate, personal call. And then he leads them out. And this is crucial. He goes before them, clearing the path and showing them the way. This isn't about force. It's all about careful guidance. And here's the other side of that relationship, which is just as important. The sheep's reaction is pure instinct. They follow their shepherd because they know his voice. But if a stranger calls out, they don't just stand there confused. No, they run, they flee. You see, their entire safety depends on knowing the difference between the voice they can trust and the one they can't. Now here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. After laying all this out, the door, the thief, the shepherd, the voice, the text just flat out tells us that the people listening had no idea what he was talking about. They were totally lost. And you know, that confusion is actually the perfect setup for the big reveal. It forces the speaker to spell it all out. So, with everyone scratching their heads, the speaker decides to drop the mystery and just tell them exactly what he means. He's about to unlock the whole metaphor with one single statement. And boom, there it is, the big twist. Notice he doesn't say, "I am the shepherd." Well, not yet anyway. He says, "I am the door." That changes everything, doesn't it? He's claiming to be the one and only legitimate point of access, the only right way to get to the sheep. With that one line, anyone who came before, claiming to be the way, is suddenly recast as a thief and a robber. Okay, so now that we know who the door is, a really sharp contrast emerges. The story draws a line between the motivation of the thief who climbs the wall and the purpose of the door itself. It's two completely different paths leading to two totally different outcomes. I mean, just look at the difference here. The thief's entire mission is negative. It's to steal, to kill, and to destroy. It's all about taking. But the promise of the door, it's the exact opposite. If you enter through this door, you'll be saved. And it's not about being trapped inside. It says you'll go in and out and find pasture. That's incredible. It means you get safety, but you also get freedom, and you get nourishment. And that brings us to the final, ultimate point of this whole metaphor. It moves beyond just talking about survival and safety. It gets to the very heart of why the door exists in the first place. And this line, this is the mic drop. It's the final defining difference. The thief comes to take away, but the door came to give. And not just to give life in the sense of just existing, but to give it abundantly. This one word elevates the entire story from being about safety to being a profound statement about the quality and fullness of life itself. And that's what we're left with, this powerful idea to chew on. In the context of this metaphor, an abundant life isn't about owning more stuff. It's a life that's secure. It's a life with freedom, a life with real nourishment. And it's a life built on the comfort of knowing you're being guided by a voice you can trust. So the question it leaves us with is a personal one. What does a truly abundant life actually look like?